everyone, and welcome to another Let's Play. My name is Anna Mardall, and this is Quest for Glory 2. You might want to turn down your speakers because we're about to get a blast of music. Okay. I cannot turn the sound down in a way that affects the opening title. So, when we last left off, it was sunset was approaching. We're about to go back to the inn to hear Omar read poetry. So, we're going to go do that right now. And we have maxed out quite a few skills, which is exciting. The poet has personally asked that you be present tonight, for he wishes to speak with you after his reading. If it would please the hero so, then there is that which he should know, a simple prize from Sultan wise, for deeds of air the land does owe. From the Sultan Harun al-Rashid, may he reign forever, we present thee with this purse for thy services most brave and daring against the elemental of air. You receive a reward of 50 dinar. Thank you. Came a hero drawing near to our land of fair Shapir. The catacalled and carried that one here. I shall tell an allegory about a quest for love and glory, which I shall relate if you will lend an ear. The hero first faced fire, which was making matters dire, for the flames he fought were flitting ever higher. With water first he fought it, and into a lamp he caught it, ere our city of Shapir became our pyre. The next he faced was air, which I'm sure that you're aware was blustering and blowing here and there, before the winds became our bane, as a fearsome hurricane. With the bellows then he caught it fair and square. So let us raise a cheer for the hero of Shapir, and remember that our praise is quite sincere. For in the quest of glory, as related by this story, is a hero who has saved us from our fear, is a hero who's a hero without peer. Well, that was very nice. The supper tonight is sara stuffed with grapes and saffron rice and honeyed rabbit. This is a specialty of Shapir, and I hope you will like it. What does she think about Omar? He is a wonderful poet, and he knows many things. We are most lucky that he comes here. After a meal like this, you feel it will be a struggle even to make it to bed. But what the hey? You're a hero. You can do it. So let's go talk to Omar. And first of all, we want to give him his pouch because he left it whenever he was out in the plaza that one day. What's it called? Why is it not? Purse. Give purse. That which I lost is now returned. I give you the praise of gratitude earned. The memory of a poet is long for those who aid him. Well, it's only 6 dinar, but you're welcome. There is a sultan in the land Shapir, who speaks but truth and counsels all to hear, to whom all the people praise and cheer. The righteous rejoice and the foul all fear. The Sultan Harun al-Rashid, may his name be known always, is a most powerful and perceptive ruler. What did you think about the air elemental? The wind, which turns and twists with speeding force, it wrecks and ruins all without remorse. The dust of devils, vortex of despair, a living elemental formed of air. The elemental of air, by the sheer power of wind, is capable of vast destruction. The fire elemental, living flame, destruction unleashed, wild and never tame, causing all it touches then to burn, leaving only ashes in return. The fire elemental is created by a spell cast by a user of magic. Once created, it burns and destroys, uncontrolled by any master. I do not think there's anything else we need to ask them. So I think we're just going to rest. I don't think there's anything else to ask. If there is... I can't think of it. So, of our skills which haven't maxed out, we've got stats over here. I'm kind of surprised that our strength isn't higher because we've been fighting Uhura and fighting monsters. So that's a little surprising. But our picklock skill is not maxed out, and our throwing is not maxed out. And our climbing is not. But I don't know of a place to climb. A couple spots online said that the place to climb was the trees at the Dervish's Oasis. But when we tried to climb, it said you can't climb here. And I thought I had read that was a VGA remake thing. So I'm not sure about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice lockpicking. We're going to practice lockpicking in a couple of ways. So first I'm going to pick nose. We're at 115. That takes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That takes several clicks because you had to go through several dialogues. We did 10 of them and it didn't change anything. So pick door, pick lock. That takes longer because of the animation, but we can speed that up by speeding up the game. 7, 8, 9, 10. So that actually did up our lock picking skill. Not very much, but so okay, I'm gonna spend, let's say, 5 real-time minutes working on this. As I mentioned in a previous video, I can't separate the skill grinding parts from the plot parts because the plot parts are happening on a timer and the skill grinding parts are kind of happening around it. So, you know, for instance, we just had to go see Omar then. We couldn't, well, let's just take a couple of days and work on our lockpicking and then go see Omar. Omar was showing up tonight and only tonight. And I really did want to give him his purse back, if only so it would stop being in my inventory. Okay, we're to 20. We've gotten 5 points, so that's, you know, something. Not as much as I would like it to be, but it's something. I had read that the nose picking would also grind lockpicks up to 200, but I don't think it does because every time I've tried nose picking my nose, it's never ever gone up in this game. So I think we've maxed out the return on investment that you can get from that. 123, and we're out of vigor, so we're gonna eat a vigor pill, and that should. Yeah, full, so pick lock. I should have thought to turn the animation up when we were grinding magic. That would have gone a lot faster, and I just plain didn't think of it. I've been at this for about 2 minutes now. I said we'd do it for 5. I should kind of move the mic away from my keyboard so you're not getting a jillion clicks as I smash the keys. 128. We're getting there. Again, not as fast as I would like, but we are getting there. If I have a criticism of this game, it's that they didn't really embrace the idea of skill challenges requiring high skill amounts. So, for instance, And I criticized the first game because the first game had this beautiful mechanic whereby you could play 3 different types of approaches: a fighter, a magic user, or a thief, and then it completely pissed all that away, pardon my French, by having the final 3 or 4 rooms of the game depend entirely on a single puzzle solution that had nothing to do with any of your skills or with any of your approaches as a fighter, mage, or a thief. How you handled the final boss was literally the same no matter what kind of character you were playing and no matter what your skills were. So I felt like that kind of wasted a really good idea. This game does that better. What this game, the second game, doesn't do well, I think, is I think it was afraid to really commit to the challenges having high skill point needs. And I think that was kind of a struggle between when you started a new character. A lot of the new characters start with sub 100 skills, and understandably they didn't want to make it so that if you started a new character the game would be super hard because you had to grind something up to like 150 before it would be useful. But on the other hand, for the people who did grind up to 100 in the previous game, that grind means that this game is incredibly easy, and so you're left with things like me standing outside a hallway for 2 hours grinding pick locks that will never pay off. We will never run into a lock that needs 200 points in order to open it. We will run into locks, but like right now where we have 141 lock picking skills, I think that's more than enough to blow through the rest of the game with the lock picking challenges ahead. I think the best way they could have solved this, and this was back in the early days of video games where I don't think they had thought about stuff like this, but I think the best way to have fixed this or addressed this would have been to let the player set how difficult they want the game to be. And that could have changed nothing except adding 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 points onto the skill checks for each of the skills. So if in an easy or regular game you needed 70 points to pick a lock, medium difficulty could say, okay, you need 120 lock picking points to pick this lock. And a hard could be, okay, you need 180 points to pick this lock. So I think that would have been cool, and I would honestly love to see a fan mod for something like that where the game is otherwise unaffected and it's the same, but the skill checks for whether this attempt is successful or not, the skill checks could be just so much higher. Okay, so we are at 146 lockpicking. And I'm going to burn down the rest of our stamina. We could finish our lockpicking skill tonight, but in the interest of, it's midnight, in the interest of not boring everyone to tears, I will spread it out a little bit more. So you'll be bored to just mild tears. Twice. Maybe not the best decision. Okay, picking 150. And it's midnight, so let's return to the Cattail Inn. And let's go to bed. Until dawn. It is day 12. I fear, hero friend of the Kata, that Shapir again needs your aid. There is talk that an elemental of the earth is destroying the city. Huh. Well, that's gonna happen, I guess. Good day, Hero Spielberg. I hope you slept well. Do you know anything about this earth elemental? I only know that the elementals are dangerous. Okay, that's cool. Let's go talk to Shamin. Maybe he knows. Ah, hero of the north, I am but a kata. I cannot speak upon what I do not know. Okay. Let's go buy some more vigor pills, because we ate a bunch of them last night. I have heard that it was you who vanquished the elemental of air as well as flame. Perhaps you now need to know something about the element of earth. Sure. I didn't think you would know, but ask about earth elemental. The elemental of earth is a thing of vast, destructive capabilities. In my studies, I have found that to master something, you must understand it. What is earth? That is what you need to know. Okay, what is earth? Watch this. See how the earth is consumed by the flames. Pretty amazing, isn't it? I'm sure there's a lesson to be learned from this, although I don't quite know what that might be. Now I must get back to my work. Okay, that was a little weird. A lesson, but I don't know what it is. Alrighty. Well, if it comes down to flame, we are a magic user. My pots are shaking with every step the earth elemental takes. It is a thing of such force that little can stand in its way. Let's go talk to Aziza. She usually has cool animation for us to watch when it comes to the elementals. Come in, sit down, and be welcome. Shall we share tea? I love her little, I don't know if you can tell, but the table has a pool of water at the bottom, and I think that's so cool. I would actually super love to have something like that, but my cats would super love it more. Her home is so beautiful, and all I can think of is, she doesn't have cats. She doesn't have cats. There are no cats in this house. I mean, they'd be all over those drapes. They'd be all over those shelves. They'd be all over those drapes. Perhaps it would be well to show you, as well as to tell you about such things. The essence of earth is strength. It must be worn away before it can be captured, and it is only vulnerable to flame. It might be best contained in the type of cloth sack used to haul sand in the city. I think we have one of those. Yes, we did buy a cloth bag. Way back at the, day one of the kata asked if we would buy one for, a dinar or 50 centimes or something, to carry extra equipment in. And I just wanted to spread the money around a little bit, so I said sure. So we've got one of those. Farewell. It has been a pleasure. I'm sorry we didn't converse at greater length. So, we do have fire. We've got a flame dart spell that's at 200. I don't really want to use it because then it'll be higher than that and that will bother my OCD. Let's go. We don't even know where the earth elemental is. That's the other thing. It seems that Shapir again needs your skills. No one else in the city can handle such a magical being. If your leg had not failed you this morning, Rakesh, the elemental would be gone. Hero, you should have seen how Rakesh fought it. His sword burned brightly as he fought that monster. Rakesh be great warrior still. I'm afraid I have not the power to deal with the elemental now. It will require your skills and magic to overcome the thing, O defeater of elementals. If you do seek to defeat the earth elemental which now walks our streets, you must first understand its nature. Okay. The earth elemental is the magical essence of stone and rock. It is extremely dangerous and difficult to defeat unless you understand its nature. The nature of the earth elemental is to endure. It draws its strength from the very stones that make up this city. It cannot be defeated by a single blow, but must be worn away through your actions and its vulnerability to magical flame, such as a flaming sword. Ooh, do you have one of those? Because Uhura said you had one of those. You will need the magic of a flaming sword to defeat the earth elemental. Permit me to loan you my sword, Soulforge. Wow. When you are in battle against the elemental, the flame of the sword will aid you. It will flame for the battle only, for it draws its strength from mine. Please leave the sword with Uhura in the guild hall when you are done with it. Thank you. I was given the sword Soulforge when I first became a paladin. Only a paladin has the will to make it flame. It will flame for you because I wish it to. Wow. Okay, well, we'll take good care of it. Where is it? It's not in any of the plazas because this would have been the natural plaza for it to be in. Because the fire elemental was here. The air elemental was here. I expected the earth elemental to be here. It's not. The earth elemental crushes everything in its path. Does anyone know where it is? Now that's one tough sucker. Thanks, Isur. It is a thing of force that little can stand in its way. Yes, you have all said that to me. Does anyone know where it is? My plants are trembling, as is the very city. You can feel it shake beneath your feet. There is a strange thing upon the streets. It is formed from the stone of the city. As I left where I live this morning, I heard something very large behind me. Ask about home, where you live. Okay, so one of the kata tells you its location. I don't remember which one. It is said the alleyways are not safe to travel today, for the very earth is starting to move. My brother by marriage, Tashtari, the brass merchant, had something huge chase him in the streets as he was going to work this morning. Well, where is he from? The brass is here. As I left where I live this morning, I heard something very large behind me. Ask about earth? Ask about elemental? We know little of such things, but that we will suffer when elementals are around. Ask about street? Ask about home street. Ask about where do you live? Chase. Large thing. Okay, I don't know how we're supposed to get his address out of him. Just that he... was chased. So... if we go to our... map... we can kind of guess that perhaps the brass merchant came from this direction. I mean, I guess he could have come from any of the directions, but if you can set up anywhere you want, wouldn't you set up near your home? The down here is a dead end, but let's go check it out. You hear a rumbling at the end of the alley. So, fight. You quickly move into position in preparation for combat. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Where did it go? So, Rakesh did say that he endures and that we might have to fight him several times. What if we go back to that alley? Like, what if he thinks we're gone, but we're not? Haha! Haha! Oh, that didn't sound good. I could swear I just heard the sound of something getting knocked over in the other room. It is the Earth Elemental. You carefully put the elemental away in a cloth bag. Kick ass! Okay, let's go give Rakesh's sword back. Did y'all know I killed the Earth Elemental? Did you know I killed the Earth Elemental? He said to leave it with Uhura. Give Soul Forge. Good sword. Good fight. There are many. Be proud of you. So, they probably did not expect you to kill it on the first day. We just did because we're awesome. So let's talk about that. If we were not a fighter skilled in the use of a sword, we could have used magic. As a magic user, all magic users ought to have start the game with Flame Dart. I don't know what would happen if you didn't, because Keep On Laughing doesn't sell Flame Dart. But I assume if you start the game as a magic user, you have it with you. The only way you wouldn't is if you imported a Spielberg hero that didn't have it. But we also know that it filled in Zap for us, so it might have filled in Flame Dart as well. And honestly, Zap might have done damage to it too. I don't know. The other thing is, if you're not a fighter with a sword, and if you're not a magic user with Flame Dart, a thief can get some explosive powder from the, I believe, the apothecary. Yes, ask about powders of burning from the apothecary, and he will give them to you. But we do not need to throw powders of burning at the fire elemental because we had a flaming sword instead. And by giving the sword back to Uhura proactively instead of waiting to be asked for it, and hoping maybe that they would forget about it and then we'd get to keep it, we have earned some secret paladin points for promptly giving that back. So, there are some things we can do now, which I'm going to do. And if we didn't do them, the game would remind us, send us little notes or reminders. But I'm going to do them because I know about them. So we've got this bag with Earth Elemental. What do we do with it? We do not know anyone in town who needs an Earth Elemental, which isn't terribly surprising. We didn't know anyone who needed a magic flame for the Fire Elemental. We didn't know anyone who needed a bellows full of Air Elemental. So it's not like these things have been useful thus far. But we do know a plant in the desert that might like some magical earth. So we're going to go back to Aziza. Come in, sit down, and be welcome. And we'll share tea. And we're going to have to ask about the Fruit of Compassion again, and she's going to tell us the whole story. So, once again, a trigger warning here for sexual assault and violence, and if you want, you can skip the video ahead, I'd say about maybe 5 minutes, and we should be past that. That is indeed a sad tale. Let me show you of that which we speak. I will tell you of a time long ago when women wore veils and were but wives and chattel to men. There was a woman, a beautiful woman, a loving woman, who wished with her very soul to become a healer and thus aid others. Her father tried to dissuade her, saying that this was no task for a woman of her gentleness and sensitivity. She would go about her duties quietly, but each evening she would tell him again that she wished to become a healer. At last her father gave in, and she was trained in the art of healing, despite the jeers and condescension of the male students and teachers. She became a healer and removed her veil forever. She soon discovered that life was not easy for a woman healer. Many men distrusted her skills and refused to call upon her. Some men called upon her only to try to take advantage of her beauty. One day a man came to her and told the tale of his brother dying in the desert. She did not quite trust his manner of looking at her, but she could not refuse aid to one who might need it. She followed him out of the city and into the desert. She was led to an encampment of ragged tents. She soon learned to her sorrow that the tale of the brother was but a lie. These were brigands, and what they did with her I shall not say. She tried to escape them the next day and ran to the mountains to hide. They were swift to follow. They had nearly recaptured her when she called aloud for help. A genie heard her cry and transformed her into a tree. You could be the one to give her back her soul and free her heart from wood. You will try this, hero, will you not? There are 3 things you must give her to save her soul: a gift of kindness, a gift of magic, and a gift of love. The gift of kindness is simple. It is only what you would give to someone who has been in the desert far too long. You must then tell her about yourself. Remind her what it is to be human. Your words are as important as the gift, for they give meaning to the act. The gift of magic is the gift of sacrifice. The gift must be something you gained through hardship and from aiding others. It must also be something from which a plant can gain strength. Tell her how you got the gift and why. You will remind her of why she became a healer. The last gift again is simple, a mere gesture of affection. Remind her that there are still people in the world who care about others. There is only one thing you need to say to her now, to remind her of who she is. Her name is Julanar, flower of the pomegranate. When you have done this, your part in her tale will be complete. Julanar will not be able to walk this land as a human woman until another frees her with the power of true love. But you can at least free her spirit by giving her these gifts. You will find her within a day's ride to the east at the base of the mountains. May you heal the healer, Aaron. Okay, so we're gonna say farewell. It has been a pleasure. I'm sorry we didn't converse at greater length. We are going to go to the gates. The thing of earth was most fearsome. The very city trembled from it. We are most fortunate that Shima and Shamim brought you here. You are welcome.
The dervish, passing a message through one of the local Bedouins, has sent for you. The dervish says, "Man who look for trouble, come to right place." He also says, "Good comes from evil when dark is enlightened."
Okay. Well, that's nice, I guess. We're gonna go visit Julanar. I said the whole thing would take about 5 minutes, and we're 4 minutes in, so I'm not sure, but we'll see how quickly we can get it done. I find the whole story very, much more painful than I did as a child. Okay. So Julanar, we gave her water and told her about herself, and she turned to face us. Now we're going to give her the earth elemental. The earth elemental seems to sparkle a bit in the light as it settles down into the soil around the plant. And we need to tell her about the earth elemental and why we have it. You begin speaking about the problems facing Shapir and about the menace of the earth elemental. You tell how frightened the people of the city were and how scared you were to face it. Even though you were afraid, you knew that you had to protect and save your friends. So you overcame your fear and defeated the monster. Now you are giving the magical earth to her to help remind her that there is still magic in the world and that others still care about her. This plant surely was once a woman. So the last is an act of kindness. And we're going to hug her. Hug tree. And we're going to say, Julanar. Julanar's leaves rustle lightly at the sound of her name. A purple fruit. Gosh dang it. The fruit of compassion drops into your hands. Julanar's gift to you for restoring her spirit. You carefully put the fruit away. Oh, that's so frustrating. Give Earth Elemental. Tell about Earth Elemental. I don't know why they timed some of the a purple fruit something created on one branch of the tree has been created on one branch of the tree. There, was that so hard? Okay. So, you think she likes you. So, frustratingly, that is all we can do for Julanar. And that bothers me. I do remember... So we just had to ride away, which I don't like. It feels wrong to just leave her. But we do... know from the third game, I was trying to remember how I knew that she turns out okay. We do know from the third game that we send a guy who has been, what the heck? I thought I turned Silly Clowns off. Look at golfer. He's participating in the Persian golf tournament. So supposedly the desert is a sand trap. We do know from the third game that Julanar eventually finds love. We actually meet a man who's been dreaming about her, and we send him to Shapir. That was a jet. To find her. So, look at sign. Hours. Maximum speed, 1 to 5. Do we have enough water? Yeah, we should. But I think I need to go one more further. There's a lot more silly things in the desert during the day than there are at night. I've lost the scent. I was gonna go visit the dervish. And I did something wrong. 1, 2, 3. Down. 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 No, crap. Haha, I was able to override it. Where is it? It's 3 and then south. I'm completely flummoxed. It's so weird. I've completely lost the dervish. I thought it was 3 and then south. Let's check the... Maybe I've done something wrong. One, two, three, yeah. So go home. The city is, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then it should be south from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be here. Well, what the heck? Why couldn't I get it before? I don't know. So get water. You take a deep drink of the warm but refreshing water. You then check and refill all your water skins. To the west of Shapir and north of here stands a puzzle. 5 W's. W's. 5 west? It is said that a man is like a caged beast, and a beast is like a rumor. It is best to dispel it early. Harik knows the way, and I know the where. The where is 5 scouring links to the west of Shapir, and 2 scouring links north of here. Can I climb your tree? Climb dervish. You can't climb the dervish. Fine. So if we need to dispel the beast, there's no point in us going to it before we've gotten a dispel potion. So, good day. But we have the fruit of compassion. Thank you, sir. We have the fruit of compassion, so we should be able to get a dispel potion without too much delay. Give fruit. I did not notice you come in. This will only take me a second. There. I do for you what I would not do for another. This is a gift for all you have done for the city. I have made up 3 potions from what you gave me. Remember to have the victim drink the potion in order to break the spell. You will need to remember to add a freshly collected sample of the victim's hair before the victim drinks it. You take the 3 potion bottles and put them away. Now excuse me, I must get back to my work. So, 3 dispel potions. We only needed 1 in Spielberg. So, let's go get some lunch. Man, I wish we really were. Inventory. Can we please bargain some bread? That sounds delicious. You try it and find it is soon eaten. Can we have seconds? You're not hungry right now. Bargain some rations. This never hurts to get rations. So we've got, good, 25-cent time. And we have a dispel potion. So let us go back to our Saurus. Good day, hero. Thank you, sir. Now he said 5 west of Shapir. And we figured out that that was just 1 past the Griffin. So that's kind of easy to remember. Doot, doot, doot. What time is it? Mid-afternoon. We're doing all right. I will say that riding seems a lot nicer than walking through all this sand. Don't get all the sand in our boots. So now we should just need to go south for a little ways. Oh, holy crap. And our Saurus nearly threw us. Your Saurus isn't thrilled at the prospect of getting any closer to that cage. Okay, so we'll have to walk. What is that? You see a strange creature trapped in a cage in the middle of the desert. The head resembles a cobra, the body looks like that of a panther, and its tail is like a scorpion. You find it difficult to believe that such a combination could exist in nature. It looks half-starved, and its eyes have a touch of madness in them. There are no signs of footprints around the cage. The door to the cage is fastened shut, but there is no lock. Okay, well, what happens if we open the cage? It seems like a bad idea, but let's try it. Open cage. You should move closer to the cage. Okay, it jumps at us. Floop. Freeing a creature like this does not seem to have been a wise decision. Perhaps the fact that the beast is obviously starving and dying of thirst had something to do with its ill temper. Okay. Talk to beast? Don't bother trying to talk to the beast. Ask about beast. You get no response. What happens if we give it some water? The beast greedily laps up the water while watching you with a hungry expression. Does it talk now? You get no response. So while it's busy, let's get some of its fur. Yoink. You get some hair from the beast and mix it into the dispel potion. What happens if we feed the beast? The beast quickly swallows the dried meat and fruit. I got 15 ration. Does it talk now? What happens if we open the cage? Still kills us. But it wasn't starving anymore. We fed it. Now it's just being a jerk. A closer look at the monster shows that it is fierce indeed, although obviously weakened by lack of food and water. It will not survive much longer. Its eyes catch yours, and you can't seem to look away. Huge eyes, burning eyes that see your very soul. You seem to hear in your mind the words, "Come closer, much closer. Come closer and release me. Free me. Come closer and trust me. Look into my eyes and trust me." Well, that's great. So let's feed it a dispel potion. He's wolfing that down pretty good for a snake. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. We fed it another ration. I hate having to redo this sound each time. Give dispel potion. The beast slaps greedily at the potion. He's wolfing that down pretty good for a snake. Okay, so now something's happening. I know not who you are or why you saved me, but you are a fool if you expect to be rewarded for it. I am Alskurva, an apprentice sorcerer. Okay. My former master, Adavis, transformed me into that monster and left me to die. He will be most displeased that I am still alive. Do not think that he will be unaware of your interferences. He will be watching you from now on. I will give you this warning. Do not go near Adavis unless you have some spell of protection or are very quick. If he manages to throw a spell at you, you will either be his willing servant or else be transformed into a creature most resembling your soul. There is some major ritual magic he has planned for when the moon arises between the scorpion's claws and the dragon's teeth. If he succeeds in this, it would be best not to be in this land. I certainly will not be. Just remember, Adavis awaits you in Razir. Oh yeah, thanks for the food and water. Okay, that was a thing. The Thosaurus still doesn't want to get closer to the cage, so let's go home. Hey baby, what you doing? And let's go back to Shapir. And let's... What time is it? It's sunset. I don't know if we have enough time. I'm going to try. Dismount. I will be honored to put your Saurus back in your stable for you. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate it. I know that's not your job. You're a guard, not a Saurus wrangler. Knock on Aziz's door. Welcome, Aaron. Thank you for the kindness you have shown, Julanar. You are a true hero for helping her. Oh, so you know about that, huh? Yes. If we ask about Julanar, are we going to get the whole story again? You must give her the gifts of water, earth, and a hug. Yeah, that's the whole thing all over again. So, I want to ask about Razir. Razir was like a twin to Shapir until a year ago this month. The Emir Aras was overthrown and disappeared. His brother now sits upon the throne. There is a darkness over the city through which I cannot see with all my magic. So we heard about this guy called Adavis. Adavis cares only for power. It would not greatly surprise me if he were behind the darkness in Razir. Can you give me literally anything else to go on? Who else would know about Adavis? Probably Erasmus, but we have no way to contact him. Maybe Keepon? Hello, Bone Jar. Hey, guys. Said a spell. Take your shoes off. What may I do to you? Do you know of a guy named Adavis? If you need to know the answer, ask another Prancer. So, does not know about Adavis. I doubt Harik would know. Hey, Cookie, what you doing? Can you calm down? Let's bargain some vigor pills. And let's go get some dinner, and then I think that'll call a video. Hey, baby. Welcome, hero. Whoops, it's not sir. Tonight I have prepared something especially for you, so that you do not become too homesick. It is knockwurst and sauerkraut. Oh, I forgot to say thank you. You have a wonderful meal. Unfortunately, you never really cared for sauerkraut and knockwurst, but you were too polite to tell Shima that. You must admit the honey and lemons on the knockwurst aren't too bad, but the sauerkraut curry is a bit much. Can I say thank before she's gone? You're welcome. That was not the same. Sorry, Shima. Sorry. My mind was elsewhere. So, when we come back, we're going to go out of town and we're going to pick up 8 million rocks and throw them. And I honestly don't know whether to include that in a Let's Play or just do it without bothering everybody, because it's going to be the most boring thing ever. But what we've done today, we got a lot done today. We obviously the Earth Elemental showed up. We took care of him, and then we took it to Julanar and got a Dispel Potion, and then we met an apprentice of some guy named Adavis, who is apparently running things in Razir, and also apparently is capable of shape-changing people, which sounds awful, actually. I mean, it was bad enough when the kobold in Spielberg was shape-changing people, let alone now apparently this guy can just whoop and do it. So that sucks. We're not a big fan of that. No thanks. I'm not interested in fighting. So I think, let me test something. Oh, crumbs. So if we want to, oops. We'll have to do it on If we were able to throw things on the the Shapir screen, then I wouldn't have to worry about stuff showing up to try to fight me. But unfortunately, I do. We were at 111, now we're at 110. Or 112, I mean. So this is not productive at all. And like I said, I'm wondering if it's even something I should do on my free time before coming back to the next. But the problem is time keeps passing. How many have we thrown? Almost 100, not quite. And we got up 5 points. Oh my god. There's got to be a better way to throw to practice it. I'm surprised there's not a dagger game like there was in Spielberg with the Dagnabbit, because that was extremely useful and a good source of money early on when you don't have very much. 118. So we're almost out of rocks. I picked up 200. So at least we don't have, without water you would not survive even an hour in the desert. Are we running out of mostly full water skins? So why are you complaining? Oops, we hit ourselves with it. I'm not sure how that works. It's hard to do without a rock. So 200 rocks, almost all our stamina, and it went up 12 points. Yay. So, and it's now the night is still young. So that's lovely. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go in and regain our stamina and cut the video, and we'll figure out where to go from here. Maybe now that it's night, maybe I'll spend some time picking locks and bring that up to 200. Neither lockpicking or rock throwing is particularly interesting, I know, and I'm sorry for that. But that is the end of this video. We're getting close to having everything maxed out. And when I see you in the next video, we will do day 13. I think today was only day 12. That was a long, eventful day. So thank you so much for coming along. My name is Anna Mardal, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.